1954, a bedroom in Lafayette, Indiana, and the closet door is open, no wider than a kitchen doorway. 14 items on wooden hangers. A woman in her slip considers them the way a card player considers a hand. She dresses differently every day for 3 weeks without repeating. These are 15 wardrobe rules that turned a thin closet into an unlimited one. Every one of them worked. And the industry that buried them spent billions making sure you never learned a single one. Number 15, the coordinated color palette. Women built their entire wardrobe around 2 or 3 colors that worked together. Every piece matched every other piece, no accidents, no orphan blouses hanging alone in the closet. The Sears Roebuck catalog in 1953 made it plain. A woman could order a navy pencil skirt, a navy cardigan, a white cotton blouse, a red belt, and a red scarf. 5 pieces. The possible outfit combinations ran past a dozen. The Simplicity Pattern catalog recommended choosing what they called a color story before cutting a single yard of fabric. Navy and white, brown and cream, black and rose. A full coordinated wardrobe from Sears cost under $18. Today, the average American woman spends over $1,800 a year on clothing and still stands in front of a full closet saying she has nothing to wear. She did not need a stylist. She needed a plan. And the plan fit in a dresser drawer. But a plan only works if every piece earns its place. And in the 1950s, even a plain dress could earn triple its value with one small addition that snapped right on. Number 14, detachable collars and cuffs. Women bought or sewed snap-on collar and cuff sets that transformed a plain dress into 3 or 4 completely different outfits. The dress stayed the same. The neckline changed everything. A Peter Pan collar in white peak for Monday. A pointed lace collar for Wednesday church circle. A gingham collar with matching cuffs for Saturday errands. Snapped on in seconds at the mirror. McCall's sold collar and cuff patterns as separate items. The Woolworth's Notions counter carried ready-made sets for 35 to 50 cents. 1 dark crepe dress hanging in the closet plus 4 collar sets in the top drawer equaled an entire working week of different looks for under $2. The dress never changed, the woman's presence did. Every morning at the mirror, she decided who she was going to be that day. Number 13, the one good dress rule. Every woman owned one exceptional dress. It was reserved for occasions, maintained with care, repaired at the first sign of wear, treated as an investment, not a disposable. A wool crepe sheath from the dress department at JCPenney. $7 to $12 in 1955. Hung in the closet inside a cloth garment bag her mother had sewn from an old bed sheet. Pressed with a damp cloth and a hot iron the night before each wearing. That dress went to weddings, funerals, job interviews, and Christmas Eve. The same dress for 5 years, sometimes more. The fabric held because the fabric was made to hold. Today, a dress from a fast fashion retailer costs $30 and survives 3 wearings before the seams pull apart. She did not own less because she could not afford more. She owned less because one right thing outlasted 10 wrong ones. Number 12, sewing from patterns as standard literacy. Women made their own clothes from commercial sewing patterns, not as a weekend hobby. As a basic household skill, no different from cooking or balancing a checkbook. McCall's, Butterick, simplicity. A pattern cost 25 to 35 cents. A dress length of cotton broadcloth at the fabric counter ran 80 cents to $1.20 a yard. 3 yards for a shirtwaist dress. Total cost under $3 for a garment that looked identical to the $5 version hanging on the rack at Montgomery Ward. The sound of pinking shears biting through cotton on the dining room table. Tissue paper pinned to fabric with straight pins held between the lips. The Singer treadle machine humming in the back bedroom. 70% of American women could sew a basic garment by hand or machine in 1955. Today, that number has fallen below 5%. She did not buy her wardrobe, she built it. And no store could take that skill from her hands. Number 11, the third piece rule. A woman never left the house in just a skirt and blouse. She added a third element: a belt, a scarf, a cardigan, a brooch, a jacket. That third piece turned two basics into a finished outfit. A circle scarf knotted at the throat over a white blouse. A wide elastic cinch belt in red patent from the 5 and dime at 65 cents. A costume jewelry brooch from Woolworth's at $1.49. Vogue pattern books showed the same white blouse and gray skirt styled 6 different ways by changing only the third piece. The visual difference was complete enough that coworkers at the typing pool believed it was a new outfit each time. She never owned more, she understood more. That was the difference the catalog companies could not tolerate. 5 rules in, and not one of them required a trip to the department store. These women did not think of clothing as something consumed. They thought of it as something managed. That single distinction explains why a woman in 1954 could dress well on a fraction of what a woman today spends and still open her closet feeling like she has nothing. The closet did not get bigger. The strategy disappeared. Number 10, dyeing and over-dyeing at home. When a garment faded or felt stale, women dyed it a new color on the kitchen stove. One dress became 2 without a single trip to the store. Rit dye. 15 cents a packet at the grocery store. A navy dress faded after 2 summers of clothesline drying turned jet black in a pot of boiling water in 40 minutes. A white blouse gone dingy from hard water turned pale robin's egg blue. The smell of hot dye and cotton steam filling the kitchen on a Tuesday morning. Women who kept a mental catalog of which fabrics took which colors and which ones refused. The kitchen stove did in half an hour what a shopping trip and a dry cleaner were supposed to do. She did not throw things away when they stopped looking new. She made them look new again. The garment industry needed her to forget that was possible. But changing the color only went so far. Some women took it further. They built garments that carried 2 complete lives sewn into the same seams. Number 9, the reversible skirt. Women made or bought skirts that were fully finished on both sides. Flip it inside out and wear an entirely different color or pattern the next day. Butterick and Simplicity both published reversible skirt patterns through the 1950s. Wool plaid on one side and solid charcoal flannel on the other. Worn plaid side out on Monday, solid side out on Wednesday. No one in the office or at the grocery store knew. The lining was not a lining. It was a second garment hiding inside the first. The advertisement said it plainly: 2 skirts for the price of 1. She wore the same skirt twice in 1 week and looked like she owned 2. Efficiency was not poverty, it was intelligence. Number 8, letting down hems and taking in seams. Clothes were bought or sewn with deep hems and generous seam allowances so they could be altered as styles changed or as a body changed with the years. A 2-inch hem allowance was standard on every skirt and dress. Seam allowances of 5/8 to a full inch on every side seam. A daughter's school dress bought 1 size large and hemmed up to length in September. Let down the following September when she had grown 2 inches over the summer. A woman's waistline taken in after a difficult year. The faint crease line where the old hem had been, pressed out with a damp cloth and a steam iron until it vanished. One dress that fit her at 25 and still fit at 32 because the fabric had room built into its bones. Clothes were not built to expire. They were built to adapt. That concept alone was worth more than any sale rack. Number 7, the scarf as a wardrobe multiplier. A single silk or rayon scarf could be worn 10 different ways. As a belt, a headband, a collar substitute, a halter accent, a purse tie and evening wrap, a 36-inch square of printed rayon from Kresge's 5 and dime, 49 cents. Folded into a triangle and tied at the throat for the office on Monday. Rolled tight and threaded through belt loops as a sash for Saturday shopping. tied over pin curls for housework on Tuesday morning, draped over the shoulders and pinned with a brooch for a Friday evening out. Women's magazines like McCall's and Ladies' Home Journal printed full-page illustrated guides showing 15 ways to tie one scarf, one piece of fabric. 15 outfits changed. The entire modern accessory wall at any department store cannot match what she carried folded in her top drawer. Number 6. Seasonal wardrobe rotation and storage. Women stored off-season clothing in cedar chests and closet trunks. Twice a year, the entire wardrobe was pulled out, inspected, repaired, and rotated. A Lane cedar hope chest. The smell of cedar shavings and lavender sachets packed between woolen folds. Every April, winter woolens came out of the closet. Each garment brushed, inspected for moth damage, and folded with sheets of newspaper between the layers. Summer cottons came up from the chest, pressed and hung. Any piece needing repair was set aside on the mending pile. Buttons replaced, hems reinforced, stains treated. Nothing returned to the closet that was not ready to wear the moment she reached for it. Twice a year, she stood in front of everything she owned and decided what was still earning its place. That is a discipline no closet organization video on the internet has ever taught. There is a phrase no one uses anymore: making do. It did not mean settling, it meant solving. Every rule on this list is a solution that required no money and no permission. Just a woman, a needle, and the stubborn belief that she could handle it herself. The industry that replaced her did not offer freedom. It offered dependence with better packaging. Number 5. The interchangeable separates system. Instead of buying complete dresses, women bought tops and bottoms that mixed and matched across the entire wardrobe. 5 tops and 3 skirts made 15 outfits. The math was not complicated. It was the whole point. The Sears catalog in 1956 devoted an entire section to what it called mix and match separates. A gray wool pencil skirt, a plaid circle skirt, a navy A-line. 5 blouses in coordinating solids and prints. The price for a full set ran under $15, and the combination count was printed right there in the advertisement. The concept the modern fashion industry would later rebrand in the 1990s as the capsule wardrobe and sell back to women as a revolutionary discovery. She was running the math in 1954 that a fashion blogger would call groundbreaking 60 years later. Number 4, the brooch and belt transformation. A single plain dress became 4 or 5 different outfits depending on which belt and brooch combination she chose that morning. The accessories did all the work. The dress just showed up. A rhinestone sunburst brooch from Woolworth's costume jewelry counter, $1.50. A wide, black patent leather belt, 75 cents. A thin chain belt in gold tone, 89 cents. A red elastic cinch belt, 60 cents. The same dark sheath dress worn Monday with the brooch at the collar, Wednesday belted high in red, Friday with the chain belt riding low and a silk scarf tucked at the neckline. Each version registered as a completely different outfit to the women around her at the office and at the supermarket and at the PTA meeting. She did not need a full closet. She needed a jewelry box and a drawer of belts. The rest was just knowing what to do with them. Number 3, mending and darning as non-negotiable practice. Holes were darned, tears were patched, worn elbows were reinforced with leather or contrasting wool. Throwing away a garment with useful life still in it was not thrift, it was waste. And waste was something that generation did not practice. A darning egg from the sewing basket, a spool of matching cotton thread, the wooden egg pressed inside the heel of a wool sock. The needle wove a tiny new fabric over the hole, one stitch crossing another until the gap disappeared. Elbow patches cut from leather scraps saved from an old handbag. A button box on the sewing table with buttons collected from every worn-out garment for 20 years or more. The Singer mending attachment clamped to the machine for reinforcing knees on boys' school trousers. Americans now throw away over 80 pounds of clothing and textiles per person every single year. Most of it goes straight into a landfill. Nothing was disposable because nothing was supposed to be. A sock did not end when it tore. It ended when there was nothing left to mend. That was not poverty. That was respect for the labor that made the thing. Number 2, purchasing quality fabric over quantity. Women chose fewer garments in better fabric rather than more garments in cheaper material. The cost per wearing dropped to almost nothing over the life of the garment. A wool gabardine skirt at $4.50 from the fabric counter at JCPenney versus a rayon blend at $1.90. The gabardine lasted 8 years of weekly wear. The rayon peeled in 6 months and lost its shape by Christmas. Women who felt fabric between their fingers at the counter the way a carpenter tests wood grain. The weight of the cloth told the story, the drape, the density, the way it bounced back when you crushed it in your fist. She bought the $4 skirt once. Her granddaughter buys the $12 skirt from a fast fashion chain 3 times a year, and it disintegrates each time. She spends $36 to get what her grandmother got for $4.50. She could feel the difference between something made to last and something made to be replaced. That knowledge lived in her fingertips. No label, no brand name, no influencer could teach it. Her mother taught it, standing beside her at the fabric counter on a Saturday afternoon. Every one of these rules shares something in common. Not one of them made anyone rich except the woman who used them. That is exactly why they vanished. Not because they stopped working, because they worked too well. A woman who needed nothing was a woman no one could sell to, and that was a problem for an industry built on making her need everything. Number 1, the complete wardrobe plan on paper. Before buying a yard of fabric or setting foot in a store, women wrote out a wardrobe plan. Every piece listed, every combination mapped, gaps identified before a single dollar was spent. A sheet of lined paper from a 5-cent writing tablet. 2 columns, have and need. Every blouse, every skirt, every belt, every pair of shoes written out by hand. Lines drawn between pieces that paired together. The gaps visible instantly. Good Housekeeping published annual wardrobe planning worksheets every September. McCall's printed them in the back pages every March and every fall. She sat at the kitchen table with a pencil and her closet door open and planned her wardrobe the way her husband planned the family budget. Deliberately, carefully, on paper, before spending a cent. 14 items in the closet behind her. 3 weeks of outfits, no repeats. Not because she had money, because she had a system. The pencil cost a penny. The plan was free, and the industry that buried it spent billions making sure her granddaughter never learned it existed. These women were not limited by small closets. They were liberated by them. Every constraint was a creative act. Every rule on this list was free. And somewhere in a box in an attic right now, there is a sheet of lined paper with a wardrobe plan written in a grandmother's handwriting. The pencil marks are fading, but the plan still works. And if you want more forgotten wisdom from the generations who came before us, the next video is waiting for you right now.